the action as Montgomery will go in motion, and they give it to the big fullback up the middle, and he's got some yardage and then falls. Blue Devils might have tripped him up, but he roared out over the 30 to the 31-yard line, and after he broke free of the Blue Devils, he just fell, but they may have got enough to have tripped him up. 2nd down and 1.
Riverdale ran the man in motion back this way and then gave it to the fullback going against the grain, trying to get Lebanon started one way and then hit him back against the grain.
That's the best run that Watkins has had from that fullback spot tonight. They kept him in check the first half. 2nd down and 1. Actually a yard and a half. Motion coming to the near side. That's Montgomery. And they hand it to the big fullback again, and he punches out for the first down. Roars over the 33 out to the 34-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 as they move the sticks.
Trent Thomas, Bubba Ligon, Davey Marshall helping out on the tackle. Once again, they bring the motion man this way. They fake the toss sweep. Bankston with a little toss action look and then gives it back to the fullback against the grain, enough for first down yardage. Defensively for Lebanon, Robertson, Burns, Marshall, Thomas, and Kaysen up front for Lebanon.
3 wide out set now for the Warriors. Bankston sets his ball club down, I formation. And again, they hand it to that big fullback. This time he got nothing. He rammed his nose in there and was met by the Blue Devils head on. He may have punched out a half yard, but no more. Big number 56 getting up off the bottom of that pile for the Blue Devils, although that's Edric Burns, but there was a host of white shirts in there.
When you go 320, 300, 275 at those 3 down tackle positions for Lebanon, it's tough to run the trap and to get anything.
Well, he got nothing that time. May have picked up a half yard. Call it 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side now. And Bankston wants to throw. Fires on an out route to the far side, and Lebanon plays it pretty good. They're going to get about 4 or 5 yards out of it, up to about the 40. Well, they're going to give him the 40-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now and 4. 3rd and 4 for the Warriors.
Stephen Pickett did a good job of one-on-one tackling out in the open field, made the play and held on. Orlando Easter was there to finish him off.
It's almost impossible to defend that type pass if they put it on the money, which they did, but Lebanon played it well. Montgomery coming to the near side. Double receivers with the man in the slot. And now they send motion to the far side. And Bankston with the pitch to Marvin Smith over the 40, the 45, the 50, 45-40. Smith ridden out of bounds down at the Lebanon 34-yard line. And again, Lebanon has played everything well. Flag down now up at about the 47-yard line. And I think this is going to go against Riverdale. Blue Devils have played everything well with the exception of that option tonight, and they have killed us with that option play.
They brought the motion man. They lined up in twins right, sent the slot man away, and came with the option back this way, and left the sophomore Andre to get off of a block and come make the play on the pitch man. He couldn't do it. Terry Stafford, that was a nice run from scrimmage.
Tommy, all the way down to the Lebanon 34. If that run would have stood, it would have been 26 yards, but it is not. It's coming back holding Riverdale.
That's a big break for the Blue Devils there, Clyde.
After the holding penalty, it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. So instead of having the football at the Lebanon 33, the Warriors are going to have it at their own 43 with a 3rd and 1 situation. As they bring tight end Ron Atkins back into the ball game now. And go to a single wideout on the near side. That's Andrell Cummins, the wide receiver. Line it up, Bankston underneath, man in motion to the near side. Bankston with a long count. Pitch back to Marvin Smith. Got a block on the far side. He got the first down, but he only got about 1.5 yards on the run. Lebanon played that well on the pitch out to Marvin Smith. They used the pitch to the weak side. Blue Devils played it pretty good, but it is enough for the first down out at the 40. Just over the Riverdale 45-yard line.
Lebanon daring Riverdale to run wide as they put their strong safety, stacked him over the nose man Burns. They brought Chris Britton in to almost a linebacker position. stacked him in there behind Burns to take away the fullback dive or the quarterback sneak. They went wide and just did get the first down yardage.
8 minutes to play, third quarter. Riverdale leading Lebanon 10-0. Blue Devils haven't had their hands on the football in the second half yet. Bankston back to throw. Looks, fires long. Got a man. Blue Devils there. Intercepted and dropped. Almost intercepted. Stephen Pickett had it in his arms down at the 15. But the receiver turned defensive back and actually broke up the pass.
Outstanding coverage, John Bryan, by the junior, Stephen Pickett.
Exactly right, Tommy. Pickett, stride for stride with a fleet-footed Riverdale receiver, makes the turn on the ball as the Riverdale receiver eyeballs the ball coming down. Pickett makes the turn, almost makes the pick.
Second down 10. Blue Devils all did come up with a good play, almost came up with a fantastic play. 3 wideouts, 2 to the wide side, 1 to the short side of the field. And Bankston probably going to want to throw it again, but they hand it to the big fullback, and he's going to get a yard, maybe 2, out over the 46 to the 47-yard line. Actually picked up a long yard, and it'll be 3rd down and 9.
Kyle Jones, the fullback, running the ball in the middle of that Lebanon defense. Bubba Ligon, Edric Burns, Orlando Easter on the tackle for the Blue Devils. Riverdale now looking at a 3rd down and about 8.
All right, it will be a 3rd down situation for the Warriors, and Lebanon this is the down they've been slack on all night. Back to throw, draw play. Now they throw to the far side, and it's overthrown, and the Blue Devils have held and will get the football.
Bankston tries to throw to Ted Montgomery on the curl route, and Andre Logue was there defensively. Bankston sails that one out of bounds, so Riverdale goes into punt formation to kick the football away. Brad Garrett for about Riverdale's second punt of the night. Ligon and Britton go deep to return for the Blue Devils.
Britton on the near side, Ligon to the far side. They stand back at the Blue Devil 10-yard line. Here's the snap. Plenty of time to kick it. Drive and kick. And the Blue Devils, Ligon's going to pick it up at the 15, barrel back over the 20 out to the 21-yard line. And the coaches were yelling, get away, Tommy, but I thought he did well by fielding that one because it would have had a Riverdale roll way on down.
Terry Stafford, what about the kick and return?
Tommy, the kick by Garrett, good for 37 yards down to the 11-16. Ligon picks it up, returns it 5 to the 11-21.
All right, here come the Blue Devils. First time they've touched the ball in the third quarter with 6:53 remaining, trailing 10-0 here against the state's number 1 ranked team. Chad Lannon, the quarterback, underneath with motion. They give it to the motion man. Had a yardage, now turns it upfield, gets a couple of yards, squirts out near the 29-yard line.
Got a good spot.
He did get a good spot, about 2 and a little over 2 yards on the pickup. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Blue Devils out at their own 24.
Lebanon running the isolation play, the lead with the halfback in motion, and they give it to him. Block of Bubba Ligon. He bounced it outside a hole wide. Lebanon in the I formation now. Antoine Ross is the tailback.
Double wide out set for the Blue. Lannon to the near side. And they hand it to Ross, and Ross just had no running room, and he's going to be dropped for a yard loss back at the 23.
Nobody blocked Jonathan Davis, the big 229-pound defensive end, and he put the hit on Antoine Ross. Lebanon trying to run the lead play inside and get a little movement, but someone didn't take care of that defensive end who crashed into Ross. So Lebanon, nothing going now. 3rd down and 8 for the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils with 3rd and long. Go to the 1 wide out set. Lannon sets his ball club. Long count by the Blue. Fumble by Lannon, and they're going to be all over him, and he's going to be sacked. He fumbled the ball straight up in the air, reached up and grabbed it, but is going to be knocked down at his own 19-yard line. So the Riverdale defense all over the Blue Devils, the first possession that the Blue Devils have had here in the 3rd period. But the scoreboard still reads 10-0. The Blue Devils still hanging in this thing with the state's number 1 ranked team.
Ligon goes into punt formation for the Blue Devils, and deep to return for Riverdale is Montgomery.
Ligon will stand at his own 6-yard line. Here's a snap. It's low. Got to get it out of there, and he does, and it turns out to be a pretty good kick. got it the 45, headed for the near side. Blue Devils cover it well as he crosses the 50 down to the Lebanon 47-yard line. Montgomery brought it back a few steps, but the Blue Devils covered that one pretty well.
Terry Stafford, what about that kick?
Timely the kick by Bubba Ligon, good for 35 yards down to the Riverdale 46. Montgomery returns it to the Lebanon 47, so 6 yards on return. Riverdale starting at Lebanon's 47-yard line.
Nice special teams play by Jamila Kaysen, the first of those white jerseys to get downfield.
Here comes Bankston and the Warriors. Watkins is the fullback. The tailback is the ever-dangerous Marvin Smith, the speedster. Double wideouts to the far side. Wanting to throw, firing out in the flat, caught. Stiff arms a man, Lebanon hanging on, and it's going to pull him down inside the 40, down at the 36-yard line. It's going to be a first down as they hit the wideout. Hanging on for dear life out there was Andre Logue, who got a handful of jersey and managed to slow him down and hold him till help arrived.
Cummings on the reception for Riverdale. Terry, what about Bankston?
Tommy, he's now 8 of 18, 157 yards.
Single wide out set. And again, they bring motion to the near side. And they give it to Marvin Smith, the tailback, and he sticks his nose in there over the 35, and Lebanon plays that well, push him back. They say he made the 33, and he's going to get a good spot out of that. So he's going to pick up about 2 yards, and it'll be second down and 8.
Riverdale came with the Redskins play. Fullback goes left. They pull the left guard and left tackle to the right side and try to get some movement in there. Orlando Easter with the initial hit, and Jerob Coggins comes flying up from that defensive free safety spot to help on the tackle. Brad Bowles now in at defensive tackle for Lebanon.
And Doug Sharp in at offensive end, tight end for the Warriors. Bankston down the line. Here's that pitch to the tailback. Marvin Smith going to be hit and dropped. No gain on the play. Maybe a half yard. Lebanon playing it well. Coming up really fast is Antoine Ross to make the play on the fleet-footed Marvin Smith. Lebanon played that. That's the best we've handled that pitch all night.
They feathered the quarterback, Clyde. The defensive end knows that Bankston is not a real threat to run. They give him a little token pressure, and then Thomas turns and chases the play from behind. He's got the pressure coming from behind on Smith. Ross came up and hit him right in the mouth.
All right, it'll be third down and 8 now for the Warriors at the Lebanon 33. Double wideouts left. And back to throw, fires over the head of the fullback, and O.J. Easter levels big Rashad Watkins out there in the flat. The pass was high. Watkins went up in the air and got a hand on it, but O.J. Easter put the wood on him.
Riverdale trying to run that Redskins pass. The Redskins play. They fake it inside. Bankston gets out on the corner. Jamila Kaysen with a good rush, and Bankston kind of floated that one out there, but Orlando Easter right on the spot would have made the play.
Blue Devils trying to dodge a bullet here. They look at a 3-receiver set. 2 left, 1 right for the Warriors. Fourth down and 8. And back to throw, Bankston. Draw play, and here's Marvin Smith at the 30, at the 25, at the 20. Dropped inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And making a touchdown-saving tackle is Antoine Ross over there, who's had himself quite a night for the Blue Devils.
Once again, looking at the long down situation, Riverdale spreads Lebanon out, makes you honor those receivers, and then, Terry, they hit you with Smith right up the gut on the draw.
Tommy, 3rd and 7, and then Smith runs it for 14 down to the Lebanon 19, first down Riverdale.
1st and 10 for the Warriors inside the 20. At the 19. 2 wide out, short side of the field or left as they move from your left to right as you listen in, north to south, and Bankston wants to throw. Bankston fires for the end zone. Touchdown! Bankston got behind Stephen Pickett, but a flag is down. Hang on to your hats. And don't circle the wagons yet, because this might come back. I don't know if he pushed off to get free or what.
They've got a hold as the primary signal.
It may be a defensive hold. Let's see what the call is going to be.
Pass interference is going to be the call against Lebanon. They will decline that, and it is a touchdown. Bankston hits Cummings on the flag route, in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. John, you've got the call of this PAT attempt.
All right, Tommy. Guy Freeman in to take the snap from center. Connor Barnett to attempt the point after. Pickett got a little bit behind on that